Now you're here dealing with human transformation. How do you blend that through line and all these kind of, let's say, inflection points into making an event memorable and have it stand out?
I've always said that there are certain elements to events that are just universal. And there are certain elements to being in events that transcend between industry to industry. And one of the things that I try to do, no matter what industry or company I work for, is I try to make sure that at the center of what I'm doing is I'm creating spaces and places for people to connect and experience a wide range of different experiences, right? So it's like I'm not coming in there to necessarily beat the brand to death and shove it down people's throats. I'm not necessarily there to drive home life insurance and the importance of life insurance. Like there are people that do that, product marketers, whatever the case may be. My job is to create space for people to come in and experience something that connects them to the brand, to the product, to the people, whatever the case may be. But my job is to create that place and that space for them to do that. And most of the time, you hope that while doing that, the experience that comes out of it is something positive, something uplifting, something amazing, something memorable. And so I try to focus on that when I go from job to job or industry to industry, or even when I'm consulting and I'm, just giving people advice about their events. I always try to remind our events folks to be stewards of the business and understand your product and understand your company's mission, understand your brand voice, all that fun stuff. But always remember that at the core of what you're supposed to do, you are supposed to be the subject matter expert in creating that place and that space for people to connect and experience something. And your hope is that the experience will be something positive, amazing, uplifting. And that's what I try to do. And that's what I try to keep close to me. I've always said that events professionals are master artists at creating places and spaces that ignite a spectrum of experiences. That's what I consider events professionals to do. I do believe that. I strongly believe that we are master artists at connecting people in places and spaces that ignite a spectrum of experiences. And that is what I want us to remember at our core, is that you are there to create space in places that ignite a spectrum of experiences, regardless of the industry or regardless of the brand or regardless of what products they may be pushing. And the reason why I say that is because I am very fortunate in my career that I have been able to go from industry to industry, from vertical to vertical, right? I went from hospitality, where I worked on a number of different events, from American Idol to the Brooklyn Nets to different productions on Fox Studios. I was able to do a lot of work within hospitality because of the partnerships that the different hotel brands that I worked with had. And then I went into financial services, where I was able to build a pretty robust experiential marketing and corporate events function at the financial services company. Then I went from financial services to tech, which was digital commerce. And then I went from one tech company to now I'm at another tech company. And so I've had the opportunity to have a very diverse background of events, which has helped me to realize, like, it doesn't really matter what industry you work for. Your focus as an events professional, as an experience master, is to just build awesome experiences for people at whatever organization you're part of. Now, with that comes a lot of tactics, comes a lot of skills. Some of those skills need to be fine-tuned for different industries. Your approach may need to be fine-tuned for different stakeholders. Your knowledge of products and your suite of products may need to be fine-tuned depending on the industry you work for. But for the most part, our focus, our goals, our mission as events professionals at any organization is pretty much the same. And so I say all that to say, if you're watching this and you are just getting started in the events industry and you really don't know which way to go or what vertical you want to work in, you don't need to decide right now. Find a vertical, find a company that you can believe in, find a company that, you believe in their mission and you can stand firmly in what they're doing and it aligns with you morally, and go for it. Because that's how you learn, and that's how you really realize, hey, wait a minute, I'm not a one-trick pony. I don't have to do events in just fashion. I don't have to do events in just tech. The things that I'm doing, it transcends from industry to industry. I can do this anywhere. And that is your superpower as an events person. People don't realize it, but that is your superpower.
Yeah. There's a universality to it. And, I love that phrase. You should trademark it. Say it one more time.
Events professionals, we are master artists at connecting people in places and spaces that ignite a spectrum of experiences.
It's fantastic.